Hello everyone, my name is Hallie and today I will be giving my persuasive speech over why standardized tests like the ACT or SAT are not an adequate measure of student intelligence and time constraints should be lifted and these tests should be more content-based rather than strategy-based in order to more efficiently describe student intelligence. As many people know, standardized tests gear more towards success rates in post-secondary schools like colleges, rather than a student's own personal intelligence. Although, many juniors and seniors across the country who are required to take this test make this score mean a lot more to them. Also, this one test and this one test score can determine what colleges you may be accepted into, what scholarships you can get, how much money a college will give you, and if you live in Kentucky, it will determine how much keys money you get. But also, to some students, this test means and describes how really intelligent a student is. But by examining the time constraint of the test and the anxiety produced and the strategy-based structure of the ACT, it is clear that standardized tests are not an accurate way of describing personal intelligence and that time constraints should be lifted to make it a more content-based test. When considering the time constraints on the ACT, you are allotted 2 hours and 55 minutes to complete all 4 sections of the ACT. For the English section, you are given 35 minutes to answer 75 questions. For math, you're given 60 minutes to answer 60 questions, and for reading and science, you get 35 minutes to answer 45 questions. This is not a lot of time considering the amount of questions there are and just how difficult these questions may be. This means a student could know every answer to a test and answer the question correctly, but if they can't answer it or work it out fast enough, then that cannot reflect on how intelligent the student really is. With time constraints, you can't see a student's full potential. You can only see how quickly a student can answer a question and how they can work with the strategy-based ideas. Therefore, time constraints put a lot of pressure on students and build up anxiety. Anxiety hinders test performance. Studies show that there is a linear correlation between test anxiety and lower test scores. With that being said, the American Test Anxiety Association reported that 16 to 20% of students have high test anxiety and 18% have moderate test anxiety. This is a large lump sum of students that have test anxiety, and this causes for lower test scores, and it's a bad reflection on how actually intelligent these students are. This shows how students perform under pressure, not how they perform in general. This test and its scores already are stressful enough to these students because it determines their future in a lot of ways. Then with the time constraint on top, it's even more pressure. So it can be less challenging if the time constraint is lifted. On the other hand, a big portion of the ACT is the strategies you use. With me being a senior, last year as a junior, I was required to take the ACT. At my school, we have ACT prep classes, and they're based on the strategies in the ACT prep books. In fact, in many of these classes, I have deciphered that the science test is actually completely almost strategy-based. In fact, it's statistically proven that only 1 to 2 questions on the test require prior knowledge. The rest is completely based on your ability to read graphs, read charts, and just simply know the strategies of answering the questions. And knowing strategies can boost your score. If you're unaware of these strategies, you're at a disadvantage and you may get a lower test score. So you never know your full intelligence because you don't know the strategies. In my classes, I learned strategies like don't pick C. In the reading section, the shortest answer may be the correct answer. But say someone doesn't know these strategies, how are they supposed to take the test well? So if the tests were not strategy-based and we made it content-based, then it would be a more equal playing field for everyone involved in taking the test. Thank you for watching my video, And I hope that you agree with me that standardized tests are not an accurate way of describing student intelligence.